So welcome back then, Mark. Our next one is talking about cloning. So tell us a bit about cloning and what the advantage of cloning both a server and a VDI environment.
Okay, so a clone is generally a copy of a virtual machine. If you actually perform a clone from VMware today, what typically happens is the amount of time it takes to actually create that additional copy can be anywhere between 1 and 2 minutes, depending on the size of the virtual machine, if not way longer than that. So what we've done is basically everything is metadata driven on the Tintri product line. So every time you take a copy of data, as in the case of a clone, for example, it's very, very fast, but it's also very space efficient. So the major benefits are, if you want to roll out a new estate of virtual machines, whether they be server virtual machines or a whole raft of new virtual desktops, what you can do is you can come to the Tintri graphical user interface, select, if you will, your master image, your master virtual machine, whether that be the desktop or the server, and then you can create up to 500 clones off a single dialog box. Now, when we create those clones, what you'll find is we'll add them back into the inventory within vCenter, and you'll see them as powered off or read-only copies of those virtual machines. At that point in time, we're using 0 extra space on the Tintri, so then you can start to power them on, and then you can start to use those virtual machines as you would any other virtual machine. So very, very space efficient, but also very, very, very fast in terms of creation. In the time it would take you to create a single clone in VMware, we can actually create several hundred in that instance in time, so much faster.
So I'd assume in a VDI environment it's even more important, because when you're deploying for the first time, you can actually get all of them created and ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things about Tintri is we integrate into the whole VMware environment. So for example, rather than just drive that cloning process directly from the Tintri user interface, you can actually drive that process directly from VMware. So specifically if you want to roll out lots of virtual desktops, for example, the VCAI cloning process, if you will be offloaded to VAI, which will offload onto the Tintri. So the whole process is actually managed from VMware itself.
That sounds really good. Thank you very much.